Well, greetings to you. I thought I'd tell you a little tale which might interest you. A little tale. And by the way, you'll see, it's the last Sunday in July, you'll see that in my drawing room I have a fire on because it's got a bit chilly, very cold July. But of course we all know, do we not, that that's weather. There's a heat wave in Greece at the moment, which is on the news all the time. That's climate change. I just thought I'd clear up the difference, which might have been confusing you. Now, when I took office, elected as a member of the European Parliament in 2004, I didn't take the salary. It was a very generous salary because I felt that I couldn't go there on a generous salary to take the institution to task. It wouldn't be fair to take the money while you're criticising that very institution. So I opted for a smaller salary given to me by the Ministry of Justice. That was an option at the time. It was less, but I'd given up. I had to take something because I'd given up all my directorships and bits and pieces from commercial life, and I'd walked away from commercial life in 2004. Fair enough. There was also generous attendance allowances to cover your costs when you're in Brussels and Strasbourg, where there were far more than you actually needed. So the surplus I gave to charities. Yorkshire charities, not these charities with monster salaries for their CEOs. There was also, importantly, an offer of a pension scheme which was non-contributory, index-linked. It was to die for. It's the most fantastic pension scheme you could ever see. And don't think I wasn't tempted, because I was. But you see, I couldn't again feel that in all fairness that I could go to that place, the European Parliament, and take the money and take the pension while I was criticising that institution. And it was also a pension scheme which is totally and utterly impossible for anybody, any of my constituents to get. They couldn't get it, and of course it was taxpayer subsidised. So I didn't feel I could take that. I applied to get tax relief on an additional voluntary contribution scheme that the government run, the Parliament ran. I tried to get tax relief on it. I thought that's okay because I'm contributing. There's no moral issue here. I'm paying my £800 a month or whatever it was. But they wouldn't give me tax relief. I applied for tax relief for the HMRC. And they said, no, you can't have tax relief on that particular scheme. If you want tax relief, you've got to have a scheme with the equitable life. Well, I've been in the city long enough to know they were going down the tube, so I didn't take that. But they said, look, I tell you what we'll do, we'll compromise. We'll only tax you at 10% when you take it out. Well, it wasn't a particularly good deal, but it was all right. Okay, I'll go with that. So I went with that. And also at the same time, my trustees of my private scheme applied to the Inland Revenue for me to transfer in specie stocks and shares into my private pension fund as I was winding that situation up. And the Inland Revenue agreed in writing that I could do that and get the tax relief, and that would be fine. I wasn't alone in this, incidentally. There were other people involved. There are other people involved. So there were two cast iron promises from HMRC. One was that it would only tax my scheme at 10% because they weren't giving me tax relief going in, and that they would give me tax relief on transferring in specie my stocks. Come to retirement 10 years later, well, I'm not retired, but coming round to retirement age, certainly, in order to draw some down, they then changed their mind. HMRC said, no, not only are we not going to tax you at 10%, we're going to tax you at the full marginal rate. That's point one. That's one breach. And the other one, they said, we gave you tax relief. We found on a technicality that we didn't need to do that. We'd like that tax relief back that we gave you when you transferred stocks and shares in specie. Now, here's the point. The point that I'm telling you this little tale is not to go boo-hoo and all the rest of it. These things happen. Shit happens, as they say. What I'm trying to just tell you is you can't trust anybody in government, all right? Get that into your heads. They will lie and they will cheat, and even if they confirm stuff to you in writing, they can wriggle out of it later. And if you want to appeal to it, it's at your cost, and there's no chance of winning anyway with these dreadful people. So I just thought I'd give you the heads up. I wish to goodness that I'd put instead bought 2 or 3 sovereigns every month and stuffed it in the tea caddy, because I'd have been a hell of a sight better off. So you look out. If anybody's got anything to do with government, anything to do with government pensions, whatever it is, they will cheat. They will cheat and they will lie. It's institutionalised with them, these dreadful people. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research-based. And I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So surprise won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.